is marriage and kids still the ultimate goal society paints it to be,
or just some delulu outdated concept from like 50 years ago?
So we're going to talk about these three things just so we can kind of structure ourselves a little bit. The myth of fulfillment.
Like with marriage or like life?
With marriage and kids.
Yes. I'm just
Focus.
I'm just asking.
The myth of fulfillment, the cost of commitment, and redefining success. A lot of us are not comfortable on our own and are waiting to feel fulfilled.
Speak for yourself.
Let me finish. On our way to be fulfilled by having a life partner.
Yeah, speak for yourself, love. I'm
not only speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for myself at all, actually.
Fair enough. You're speaking for the women like you who I cannot relate to at all.
I don't think I need to be married to be fulfilled. I never thought that.
You say you don't think you need to be married to be fulfilled?
No.
But you're talking about
I'm saying that is real, that there's so many women like my age and older who think that it's too late for them, who feel like their lives are, I'm not going to say worthless, but
like they miss whatever.
They're missing something. There's a hole in their heart.
And girlies, have we not grown out of that? Have we not progressed so far, like in like life, that we're still on that? That we need some sort of. And the thing is, the dating pool is so much trash. I say this, and I'm in a healthy, loving, stable relationship. But I'm speaking for the girlies on my side. Like I'm a little bit pessimistic, whatever. Like the dating pool is so much trash. You're 9 times out of 10. If you get that 10, thank God. 9 times out of 10, you're probably happier on your own. And then this whole thing of, oh, you need to be married, you need white picket fence. Like that is such an outdated concept. This is not 1920. The reason people used to get married, like not even speaking from a religious point of view. If you go all the way back, we're going all the way back, guys. I don't know when. Don't ask me when.
We're going way back to before the beginning.
We're going all the way back though. Marriage was for property, and marriage was for family continuation of like lines and stuff. Like now marriage has become for love, and that's why it's become a lot more difficult, because people realize like now I might be married for the wrong reason, and like divorce rates are high, and whether it's west or east or south, wherever you are, divorce rates are high. And it's like, is this really, are people doing it for the right reason? Are they doing it because society dictates that these are the steps that they should take, and they're doing it because they feel this unfulfillment, they feel this hole, they feel this imaginary, arbitrary thing that society has kind of like, placed on them, instead of like thinking for yourself and be like, do I want to get married, and do I want to have children? Those are still things that I'm thinking about because yes, I have a good relationship, and that's a down the line thing, but it's one step at a time. It doesn't guarantee that I will want those things in the future or not. I might not, but like, you really have to know yourself and stop thinking about what society should expect from you, basically. Like I feel like we should have progressed but way past that. Like,
I don't know that we did. I do think that is, I only spoke about women, but I do think there are guys out there who feel like they're missing out because they don't have a life partner as well.
And this is my thing. What life partner? Yes, because whatever. But I find that a lot more men want children than women do.
And want children and not to get married.
Exactly. And that's just got me. I was like, oh, so y'all want y'all cake and eat it too? Because that's basically what it is. Mm-hmm. Like I find that there's this culture now of men like, oh, I want a son, I want this, I want like maybe daughter as well. I want a child that looks like me and this, and like they say it. Obviously not all men are like this, but this is a generalization. And all they say is almost like they want a little pet. They want a little dog that they could be like an accessory. And because again, like traditionally, obviously, and in reality too, well, women are the one who are actually physically having the children. So it takes no physical toll on men to have children.
In fact, they're going to enjoy it.
They enjoy the whole process. Well,
probably. Yeah. I guess
they
have to.
Especially when they don't plan to marry any women. They ain't got to take care of them when they're pregnant. They ain't got to do nothing. Oof. They just do the bare minimum at the end when the child actually born. Maybe, see them on weekends, play some football, play some basketball, whatever. Like, they make it like if it's like a fun thing. I'm not saying all men are doing this, obviously. Of course, there's some good fathers out there. Where they at, though? I don't know.
My thing is, the aim should always be to be a good husband before you're a good father. I don't think the two should exist without the other.
The two should coexist, but that's not the reality that we live in. Like a lot of time,
yeah, but we're talking about like idealistically. So right now, well, not right now, but society always had this: get married, have kids, as like the dream thing.
Yeah.
You know,
White picket fence, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
and while I do still think that this is an ideal that people who are meant to be married get married and they have children, because there are a lot of people who are having families and are having broken families, and our society is getting overrun with broken families.
Yeah,
and I'm not
exactly.
saying nothing good comes from broken homes, because
We're from a broken
most of us are from broken homes, and I think it's on us to take the ideal, take that sentence, marriage and kids, and actually make it good marriage with kids.
Yeah, I feel so.
I think instead of maybe, as I think you were kind of trying to swipe it from the pages of history, but I'm saying it's not really relevant to 2025. I think the traditional sense of marriage and
That's what I'm
kids
saying.
is dead
This-
or
that
needs to be
traditional-
murdered.
That is archaic, and I feel like we haven't grown out of that part of it.
Yeah.
As in, like, you think it's still something that you have to do just because that's what society dictates. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying do it for the right reasons, and the right
Ooh.
reason is going to be what you actually feel like this is your path. This is something you want to do.
I guess. I think too, on this myth of fulfillment, is that people have not learned how to exist within themselves.
Yes.
We
Learn to be
we
alone.
live in a world where we're so connected to everything but connected to nothing at the same time. And there's so many people that can attest to being married with children and feel alone in their homes.
Which
And
is
that's
so
maybe
sad.
it is,
It's like,
it
why-
is the saddest thing.
What are you doing? Like, then what are you getting from life? You're not getting anything else of it. If you feel you're just going through the motions and you're just going through a routine and like,
And
you're
I
not
wonder-
feeling, you're not present. I feel that's it. If you're like, you have to enjoy it. So if it's not something that you're doing because you want to do it or something you felt like you're doing for the right reasons, then it becomes almost like it's a routine, it's a task, it's a job.
It's another
basically.
job.
It's another job, and why are we doing
And
that?
it is another job, but what I think the differentiating thing is that by yourself, if you're not good by yourself, you will not be good with somebody else, and you certainly won't be good with somebody else.
Amen.
And some many people also.
Right? Yeah.
You just dig in a
just won't
deeper hole.
happen. It just won't
And
happen at all.
obviously, we don't have kids. Like, we've babysat, we've been around kids our whole lives. I think it's so important to, like, y'all said that I'm crazy for wanting to talk about money on the first date. But I think you need to talk about, as
Not the first.
if
date.
you're dating, if you're going on a date, if you're going for food and you're not going straight from messaging to the bedroom, I feel like you should be discussing these things.
Yeah, but okay, so you're coming from a dating to marry standpoint.
No,
Dating to
don't
marry
go
is
on a
great.
date unless you're planning to get married. If you just
You
want,
see, and that's
if,
the thing. Not everybody. Yeah,
if
that
you
is.
just want a casual relationship, don't even bother eating food.
Still take me out on a date.
Eat
though.
food. Eat.
Still want to eat.
Are you a hoe?
I still want to eat. I still want to eat. Even if
Well,
I'm
feed
casual.
yourself and then meet him at home.
No,
Exactly. So why are we going on dates if you're not planning to get married? What's the point?
Maybe we're just trying to figure out things. You're trying to figure out like.
Go
we're
with
trying
your
to see-
friends, bro.
It's not
Go
the same
with
thing.
your
You know, it's not
friends.
the same thing. So don't piss me off.
How's it not the same thing?
It's not the same thing.
You're
if
making
you're
friends.
if you're trying, so say you're like, okay, yes, we are raised Catholic and we should date to marry and et cetera, et cetera. But realistically speaking, like in my 20s, especially I call them the lower 20s. When I'm between 20 to up to maybe like last year, let's say 25, I was not dating to marry. I'm not looking for a lifelong partner.
So where were you dating?
I'm looking for experiences. I'm looking for a good time. I'm looking for like just little instances of like fun. And you can't just be on a first date. How much money are you making? What's your long-term plan?
Do
What are
you
your
want
5-year
kids?
goals? I can't answer
What's
those
your
questions.
bank? What's in your bank account?
I literally cannot answer those questions. I don't have a 5-year plan. You have a 5-year plan.
don't have a 5-year
I have a
plan.
5-day plan at max. Like I can't.
I have a 1-day plan. I live one day like the night before. I make my schedule for
lying.
the following day.
She's lying.
I'm
She might do
serious.
that, but she has a 5-year goal in mind. Tell me not.
It's just being a millionaire. That's all it is. I don't have these steps. I haven't
She's lying.
drafted the steps.
She's lying.
But anyways, fulfillment. I don't think fulfillment will ever come from having a family, having a partner, having kids.
Well, that's what we
I
agree
don't
on.
think-
Actually, you can't be fulfilled. You can't expect that these things are going to fill whichever hole you're trying to fill. Because
Yeah.
if you can't do it on your own, adding more people to it is not going to help. It's not, and I think that's probably what our parent generation probably did.
Yeah, and a lot of people thought like kids will fix my marriage. What?
How? Hold on, bro. How?
What?
How? Right? I felt like we're on the same page with this, with that specific thing.
What about legacy? That term is used a lot when people talk about children.
When men talk about children, I hear that word a lot. I've actually never really heard women talk about leaving a legacy. That's such a male concept. Like, what legacy? What did you do that you want to leave your legacy? What you do? Tell me. Show me. What benefit have you brought to society?
He
that you
wants
wanna leave a
man at
legacy?
the desk to live on forever.
Like, stop it. Stop with this legacy nonsense. It's so stupid. And it's like, if you want to have a child because it's something you feel like you've always wanted, and like you feel like you make a good parent, and you feel like you're ready to commit to that level, of course, go ahead
And
do
you
it.
can afford it, which brings us to section number 2. The cost of a wedding. Let's start at the top. Getting married could be so expensive.
Could be, but I actually was having this conversation with a colleague because she and her boyfriend have been engaged for a while, trying to like they're fairly young. They're like in their 22, 23, so they're not in a rush to get married immediately, but they know that's something they
What's
want
the
to
difference
do.
if they do
They
it
come
now or
from
later?
they come from cultures that usually have big weddings, and then she's like, honestly, we're not trying to do all that. Like, they come from separate, like, 2 different cultures, but both cultures are
Huge
do
weddings.
Huge weddings is a big thing, and like all your family, extended family, everything. You need everything, but they're like themselves as the 2 individuals in it. They're like, we're not trying to do all that. Like, we want to keep to ourselves. We're more private. We're more like, introverted. We don't want all this big,
Hoorah.
big shebang, whatever you want to call it. Like, and I feel, again, they're getting this pressure culturally from their families to have a big wedding. Who paying for it?
I mean, if the family paying for it, by
And
all
then,
means.
right? But no, even then, it's like, now that weddings and marriage have like moved away, should have moved away from this whole traditional concept of like bringing two families together, yes, but like I'm talking like property wise and all that stuff. And then this whole showcase, who is that for if it's not for the couple? If the couple wants that, great, but if it's not for them, who are you doing it for? Then you're doing it for society, and it comes back to that whole thing of,
I don't know.
what society expects from people. Like, no, if you do something, do it for yourself.
I don't know. To me, it's very sad when, like, I find court weddings so depressing. Like, the concept of a court wedding is so depressing to me. Because,
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
let me finish my point.
Finish.
You touched on it there a little bit, that marriage used to be like bringing together the two families, so the two families had to be present. And now we've moved away from that to where people can go to court or go to Vegas or wherever the case is and not acknowledge the joining of the families. If my thing is, you create a new family, yes, when you get married and you have children within that small circle, but this circle is connected back by so many, like the roots of a tree. Like, there's so many connection points and synapses. Is that the word? I don't know.
I don't think that's the word.
Yeah.
But we got the point. I don't know what
Somebody tell me what the real word is. But yeah, like, do
I
we
get
not
you.
acknowledge?
I understand it. I do believe in
How
an
we
extended family.
how we could acknowledge the ancestors when we cooking or seasoning we laundry, but we can.
Seasoning laundry.
But when it comes to like literally joining of of two different households, even if you are not, even if your family is not that close or whatever the case is, you can't deny that there's this connection. I think it's so sad. I really do.
Well, families. Well, obviously we're not talking about like toxic families or whatever. But I feel at the end of the day, yes, you're bringing two people together. Like, for me, like, oh, of course my mother has to be at my wedding if I decide to get married, and obviously close friends and family. Of course, I would love to happen there. But I feel like, again, it doesn't have to be a one size fits all kind of thing. It doesn't have to be like everybody should do it this way or this way. Not everybody's family is the same. You might have super toxic relationship with your parents, with your extended family, the aunties and uncles who be gossiping. Like,
Let them gossip. I just find the court wedding or just the two of you.
I find the court weddings to be a beautiful thing, because that is like these two people decided, you know what, we really love each other. We don't need anything else but us.
And court is the place to show love. That feels like love to you.
Because marriage is, at the end of the day, it's a legal thing.
Well,
isn't
it is now.
Well, yeah, in this day and age, that's what marriage is. I mean, some people will just say, oh, I'm married to you, write it on a piece of paper, and as far as they're concerned, they're a couple. So you can do that however you feel like doing that. But for it to be legally recognized, the court is involved regardless. Because even if you have a big wedding, you still need to go to court like the next week or something to sign papers.
No, you gotta go to court before you have the wedding.
To sign papers, exactly. So it still happens. And I feel like if, like, the same friend we spoke about last time, I thought her, like, when they posted their pictures and they looked so happy and she had her little dress on and they just went to the court, it looked, honestly, they looked genuinely
I'm not
happy
saying you can't be
and
happy.
ecstatic.
I
think that is
find that
beautiful.
sad. And in terms of the cost too, I do think you need to be like how you would budget for your groceries. You need to budget for your wedding.
If I was to get married, honestly, I just want a simple little church wedding. And I was telling my friends this when Simon was like 15, and I still make jokes about it. Bring your own food if you want to eat, because I will not have a reception. If you want a reception, bring your own food, because I get married and then that's it. We go.
Well, I can only speak for myself, but I was tactically married during COVID, so I wouldn't have to have a reception.
Exactly. I'm not having a reception, so I pull in my pockets so people can gossip about what food and drinks that they're eating
But
and
anyway,
get drunk.
even if they gossip, that's not the point. Done marriage. Let's talk about the cost of kids, the cost of commitment with children.
I can't even afford myself. Please.
Our governments, like all over the world, even China, bro, that stop people from having more than 2 kids, no one wants people to have more children. In Barbados, they're begging. And let me tell you why. Because nobody's alive to pay the national insurance.
Yeah. Which is insane.
And they won't be, because you've made it that the working generation, which is now my age group, the late 20s to 30s, that we can't afford to have children. Like, make it make sense. Do you plan to reduce inflation? Do you plan to cut costs by at least 20%?
We're talking to governments of the world
I'm
now.
talking to the government.
Okay.
If you want people to pay your national insurance, you need to make it that we can afford to have children.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I would have children already if I could afford it. That is the reality of it. And I make decent money, like when I'm at work, and I should have been able to have children by now.
Yeah, but like the cost of living is so expensive and just keeps getting more expensive.
No matter where I go. If I live in Barbados, too expensive. Live here, too expensive. If I literally can't fathom a place where I could afford children right now.
There's so many things that have to happen when your child goes to school. You have to get uniforms. Well, depending on what country. But either way,
you jump past Pampers, girl.
Yeah,
you jump straight past Pampers. I went to look for dry milk powder to make this brownie recipe I saw on Instagram. This is how ridiculous the world is now. And when I typed it in, like baby powder milk came up, and I was like, ew, that is grossly expensive. I'm about to spend that one time to get milk powder for my brownies.
Some ingredient. And I've seen
Can you imagine?
I've seen like a mother like steal Pampers and Boots, and I thought that honestly, that broke my heart.
Off, sis. Do you want me to take a pack for you?
That broke my heart, because it's like, when you know people are so desperate, and that's such an essential item that she would need for her child. The security guard didn't even look at she. Honestly,
I wouldn't.
I feel like there was some humanity going on there, because we all saw it and nobody bat-eyed, because we were like,
I don't mind that.
Fear. And that is insane. That is so insane.
I remember when our church in Barbados got broken into, they took toilet paper.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that's where we are? Toilet paper and Pampers?
Stealing just essential items, basic necessities.
Not even the wine, bro. There's a Catholic church. Not even the wine.
Basic necessities. Not even all the gold chalice or something that they could probably sell.
Toilet paper, bro.
Toilet paper.
Could you imagine that's where we're at? Like,
and that's why our generation, like, that's why like a millennial. I'm not sure about Gen Z. Gen Z a little bit different.
Gen Z, I don't even know Gen Z.
Y'all different. Although we technically Gen Z, but let's not get into it. Millennials are like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, first of all, we can barely afford ourselves. By the time you pay rent and bills and stuff, do you have any disposable income left over? I don't.
I would like to understand the people my age who have, like, there are people from my year at school who have kids, like maybe less than 10, to be totally honest with you. And I am like, how?
But you see, in Barbados, well, for me, the people in my year who have children, most of them still live at home and like live with their parents.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's like 3 generations on the same roof.
I assume so. Or like you know, like that's probably not only reason, but a benefit of having a partner and like a husband, because then you have 2 incomes. But even with 2 incomes, it is difficult. It is so difficult, because these 2 incomes need to support these 2 people plus how much ever other people y'all created.
If you intend to have this legacy or this continuation of your family line, you got money,
and you have to accept that child as they are. It's not like a fun thing. Like, oh, if your child can't play basketball or
This sound
football,
like Play-Doh.
or,
You can't go in the bedroom
and make
mold.
one and then decide, okay, well, this is not what I wanted, so I out.
Exactly.
Which is what a lot of men end up doing. And say, oh, you know what? I don't really want this anymore. I out. Women, there is no out. There is no out.
They shouldn't be an out for anyone.
They shouldn't, but like just biologically speaking, men have more of an out than women do. Like,
so imagine now you got a child like Kayla that come out fine, 10 toes, 10 fingers, but it's terrible at math. Can you afford lessons?
I beg your pardon?
you are so rude.
I'm just saying.
She's so wrong.
I'm moving away from like people might say I'm negative by saying like if a child has like a disability or other cases, but I'm just saying like regular like shortcomings. Like, can you afford to help your child with extra math lessons?
Who's good at math? Oh,
I am good at math
okay, fine.
because my mother paid for lessons. She
I
paid
went
for
to-
lessons
yeah,
for you
for
too,
both
but
of
you
us.
got issues. I don't know how
I still pass math, my girl. All I needed to do was I actually got a grade 1 in math. Thank you very much.
Oh, where's that lad? You know.
Not nowhere because math is useless. Thank you.
All right, and now for Brood and Blonde. Oh no.
Let's hear it.
Pick one music genre to listen to for the rest of your life.
Was this my question?
Haha. Of
Was
course.
this my question? Damn.
I think I'm gonna do like it didn't say what type of genre, so I'm gonna just go with gospel.
I know she's gonna do that because now we've gone into like a lot of like gospel and it's like rock,
Afrobeat.
indie, Afrobeat. There's as a
Everything.
whole. To be honest, I will say same.
Genre
Because
within the
could do-
genre.
I get to listen to reggae. I could listen to whatever I want to listen to. Yeah,
That's true.
because gospel is.
Haha. It's
But
a
does-
lyrical
Does
genre.
gospel count as a?
It's a lyrical genre.
Fair, enough, I'll take it because I will say same.
Yeah, it didn't specify what type of genre.
Yeah, R&B. Oof. I get to go.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Get to go.
YouTube,
Praise
sorry, YouTube, Insta, WhatsApp, or TikTok. Get rid of one.
TikTok. I don't use it, so
Honestly, right? I like TikTok more than I like Insta,
I know you was gonna say so.
but most of my friends are on Insta and not TikTok.
Because your friends are.
I
millennials.
use TikTok to separate from people and to like deep dive into the things I'm interested in.
Gen Z cannot relate. Millennials, yes. Gen Z, no. Gen Z, TikTok is their entire life.
I also can't get rid of WhatsApp because how's your mother gonna talk to me?
Yeah, I need the WhatsApp group chats.
That's why boomers.
Yeah.
YouTube obviously can't get rid of YouTube. Like, be so for real.
Yeah, YouTube is iconic. It's been
So this
around,
one
it
is
will
hard
be
for
around.
me.
Me TikTok. Bye bye.
Nah, Insta gotta go, bro. I'll talk to y'all on WhatsApp, guys.
Fair enough. It's one of the two of them, to be honest.
And I don't like Mark Zuckerberg that much. Like, you
True.
already got WhatsApp, bro. Like,
True.
what you need more?
New face filters on Instagram today.
I'm a dumb Insta.
Yeah, actually I might switch to Insta just because of Mark Zuckerberg.
Nice job, team.
Ah,
He's doing too much.
last but not
Doing
least.
too much.
Whoa, I don't even know which one I want to choose.
What's the question? Read the
I'm trying to decide the question because there's some interesting ones here. All right, let's go for this. Which sibling is more likely to do something illegal? That's a hard one. In the sense that I would probably commit a crime that would get me locked up for sure. Kayla's going to do like a petty crime. But they're all illegal.
What are you trying to wait? What? So you say you?
Like, I'm more likely to get arrested for tax fraud, and Kayla will get arrested for stealing a lip gloss. Like,
I would not steal a lip gloss. That's not all I'm stealing. A lip gloss? Come on.
but
Aim higher.
if
please.
you think of you doing something illegal, what do you think it would be?
Yeah, it will be small stuff.
Exactly. I'm gonna go and do some.
This is so bad though that we'll both be locked up.
Relax. I won't let them freeze my assets though.
Wow.
What do you call that? That was like blue collar
So
crime.
I would say white collar crime.
Which one of us is more likely to do something illegal?
So is it the answer both of us?
I don't know.
The answer
If you had to
I feel
choose,
like you
why?
because like I steal by accident. Like so like when we go back to the grocery shopping thing, like most of the time for me it's like accident or like carelessness. You intend to steal. Like
I
me,
do.
like my spring onions, I couldn't find the spring onions anything, and the spring onions didn't have a tag on it. I said, "Look, listen, it's 11 p.m. I'm done with this," and I just went out. But I was like, You know, that's also like laziness, carelessness, and I don't work there. You doing it intentionally. Like with your Krispy Kreme donuts, it's intentional. Tell me not. We're outing ourselves.
Honestly,
on social
I
media.
almost stole chargers from the Apple store yesterday. And my husband was like, Ashley, please. Don't do it.
You will get caught. What do you mean? You can't.
He
walk
actually
over.
took them out and gave it to her. Was like, I think these are yours. She was like, it's okay, leave it there. And I was like, you rat. You rat bastard.
So the answer is her. Yes.
Yeah.
100% you.
I think the bottom line is, do you want to walk down the aisle and pay for Pampers?
Honestly, that's a real question. That's valid.
That's a serious question. Do you really want to go down the aisle and pay for Pampers? And if you do, why?
Yeah, like why?
I
why
walk
you
down the
doing
aisle. I won't pay for Pampers because I plan to do elimination communication. For those who want children, you should probably check that out.
elimination?
Yeah,
communication?
what do you think
I'm
people
scared.
did before Pampers?
I'm scared. And they had diapers, and I used to like.
What do you think they did before cloth diapers?
I don't know.
Babies cry when they're wet because they don't like the feeling of poo and pee on them.
So
None of us do. So
so-
your child can actually communicate to you when they need to use the bathroom.
And you just like hold
And
them
you
over the
just
toilet.
yeah,
I'm into that actually, to not have anything to clean up.
because
after.
children they do not like how it feels.
Yeah, because that's why they're crying. Yeah, and it's actually gross to think about it too.
Does it feel good?
I can't imagine cleaning up like poo. Ooh.
Yeah, so like
That- I
people
would
like
die.
some
I would
people
die.
like when they're like not at home, they will have the little potty. Like yes, they're not big enough to sit on the potty, but you just hold them over it.
I could be into that, but that takes time now. That's like where that commitment comes in.